Contact a Family is a UK charity providing information and support to families with disabled children, whatever their disability. This podcast is an account of a father's experience of having a disabled child.
George has a condition called Dravet syndrome. The condition consists of epilepsy, ranging from severe seizures to absent seizures. She has ataxia, difficulty in walking. She has no speech. When she was 2, she was slightly delayed in the development. We were getting a few words like Bob, when Bob the Builder comes on. Everything was looking positive, just slightly delayed. And then at 2 years old, boom, off it went. It was as if somebody just switched her off, totally wiped her memory, and she was off to the start again. The seizure started at 3 months, and that was the first indication of epilepsy. So after the second and third one, we decided, can we investigate this? And after months and months and months, we finally got ourselves admitted under a neurologist. Anyway, it got further and further on. Doctors tried this, that and the other, neurologists, different combinations of drugs. In the end, one meeting with the neurologist said, can we have a look at Dravet? About another 8 or 9 months, combination of drugs. Eventually did this blood test, the Dravet test. Well, that wasn't the end of it, was it? Because it's a 6-month waiting list to get the results. So that's it then. You sat there thinking, 6 months? And it's like, well, has she got it? Will she have it? What if she has got it? Are we carriers? Your whole life sort of changed. You are totally in the blind. There's no explanation. There's no, where do I go from here? There's no prognosis. There's no nothing. You've just had this great big weight dumped on your shoulder. And you think to yourself, well, now what? You don't think at the beginning how it will affect you. How your family will deal with things. How your other kids will deal with things. All it is, right, Dravet syndrome. She has that, SCN1A. Right, let's go find out what that is. So I found out everything, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a very, very positive person. I take everything as I see it. But it did knock the wind out of my sails. It really did. You know, you've gone from bright button kid, full of the beans, does everything, it's quick as anything, really, really quick. And then all of a sudden you've got this, right, well, what will she learn? How will she be? How will we cope? What will we do? You know, all these questions started. So Georgia now has no speech. She's very vocal, and lots of flailing arms, loving, very, very loving. For what she's got, she lacks in one thing, but it's as if she makes up in other things.
So how old was Georgia when she was diagnosed?
She was about 2.
And how old is she now?
She's almost 5.
So what's been the most difficult time since Georgia was diagnosed?
I think the most difficult thing was the getting to grips with what she has and the social inclusion. As your kid develops and all the rest of the kids are, you know, way ahead in advancement, you start to think to yourself, well, we can't go there, we can't go here. As her personality changes and the way she is, her mannerisms and the destructiveness, and let me say, she is destructive, you know, you start to feel safer in your own little bubble, so you stay at home more. It's easier, you find it easier to work from your own home, for people to come, because you're safe here, you know exactly where you are, you know what she can do, what she can play with, everything's Georgia-proof. But then, before you know it, you found that, inadvertently, you have just shut yourself off from the rest of the world. And that, I think, is the hardest thing. You can deal with the condition, well, to a point, but you find you shut yourself off from everybody. So it's becoming a social outcast through your own doing.
And how does it feel, particularly for you as a dad?
It was a shock, but I think because of the way I am, in my own personality, is very laid back. I just think to myself, right, this is your cards, let's go for this, let's work with this, don't say never. There's things that she has that other kids lack.
How did the doctors tell you that Georgia might develop?
All my knowledge has come from the websites. From the day she was diagnosed, I was on the internet for 12 or 13 hours, and the only people I could get in contact with was America, because over there they have this thing called the Idea League, and that is primarily for Dravet sufferers. I recommend very, very strongly looking into groups. Have a look round, talk to people who do the same thing. You're not alone. You can take so much information off the internet, but if you can talk to one parent, as I've done, yeah, your child's different, but you will enjoy it. It's a good life. hard.
So what would you say the things that have changed most for you as a family?
I think the biggest one, relationships, very, very strained. As I say, I take everything very in a laid-back manner. You're having to buy things, you're having to adapt the house to stop her climbing. So you find that your relationships are strained. You don't get to go out as often. We haven't got a lot of babysitters, so that side definitely has put a lot of pressure. And George is very, very clingy. She wants to climb all over you, she wants to hug you, she wants to sit on your knee, she wants to grab hold of your head and point you in front of her. So you are the main focal attention.
Could you describe a typical day for me for your family?
Between 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning, George's size, I'm up, you're all up. So off I go. She'll be sat on her bed, cooing away. She'll grab hold of my hand, great big smile. First thing I ever see is a great big smile. Go downstairs, we'll give her a juice, and that's it then. I've got my brew, she's got a juice. For about 2 hours then, I'll have George sat on my knee, bouncing away. Then it's breakfast, medication, dressed for school. 3 o'clock comes, pick George up for another 5 hours of jumping, leaping, screaming, kicking, and that's it. Tea, take her up to bed, and she'll lie in bed at 8 o'clock till 10, just cooing away. And then that's it, she'll go to sleep. Depending on her seizures, at the moment we have got them under control with the drugs. Weekends, I think, are probably the worst. The problem we find with weekends is, what do you do with Georgia? Weekends and school holidays are definitely the hardest to engage in actively.
What type of information have you found is available about Georgia's condition? We've
joined the English side of the Idea League, so we visited them. We've been down to London a couple of times, went down to one family's house, they had a gathering, met in a coffee morning where it's just parents. And we went to Butlins in Skegness, a load of families got together. I'm in contact with families throughout the world on Facebook, and that's done through the Idea League, who've got a Facebook page. So talk to people in America, as far away as Australia. It's good to talk to other families, and there's no inhibitions. You can just do it, and you don't feel like there's any pressure. So that's good.
The Contact a Family helpline can provide information and support on many of the points raised in this podcast. The advisors on our free phone helpline can assist with issues around benefit entitlement, navigating the NHS, and issues around education. We can also locate local and national support groups, provide medical information, and link parents whose children have rare disorders. In addition, we produce a wide range of publications. For further information, visit our website at www.cafamily.org.uk or call our free phone helpline on 0808 808 3555. For video interviews with parents, visit our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/CA Family. This recording was made in May 2010. The views expressed in this podcast are for information purposes only. The material is in no way intended to replace professional medical care or attention by a qualified practitioner. Condition symptoms may vary in type or severity amongst individuals. This podcast is to demonstrate the personal views and experience of this family only. For approved medical information about this condition, see the Contact a Family website at www.cafamily.org.uk or contact your doctor.